first win of the season at the Estadio Mallorca Son Moix for Mallorca, with Jacobo Arrasate at the helm, and it came against Real Sociedad, a team who have had a lot of trouble lately in getting the job done. This game started with 8 changes for Mallorca, 5 changes for Real Sociedad. This is sort of a makeup game in advance because La Real have to play in the Europa League next week during the midweek fixtures for LaLiga. So this game gets played now, and Sergio Gomez was the first man to register a shot on target. You saw Robert Navarro as well on loan from Real Sociedad with Mallorca. He was a big part of Mallorca's continuous attacks, and so too was Antonio Raillo. He had several chances to meet the ball with his head off of set pieces, mainly from Sergi Darder's service, which was outstanding all night, really. What Real Sociedad struggled to do throughout this game was create chances, but in the first couple of minutes they had a few. Ander Barrenechea with this chances. Leo Roman didn't really know whether to stay home or come out, and he got caught in between and ended up still making what you could call a save, or at least a solid deflection on the ball to keep it out of the net. Mallorca started to find their footing in this game. It was mostly thanks to Darder, who was the distributor all night, but in this case he went for goal himself. One of the few chances that he had to put something directly on target. Navarro starting the break, and again it was Darder, the decision maker. What would he come up with this time? He chooses Johan Mojica. That was whizzed beyond Kyle Larin. Every attack they continued to find, they got closer and closer, it seemed, and you almost felt like at some point they were going to break through. There from the corner flag on the other side. It was that man again, Raillo, who hits the target this time. Ramiro with a comfortable little stop. Barrenechea had a couple of chances. He got the start alongside Mikel Oyarzabal up top, and he really didn't make the most of it. Barrenechea, in fact, it would be his blunder later in the game that cost La Real any points. Darder finding Copete, who headed it onward towards the back post. Kyle Larin just couldn't lift his leg up in time. Otherwise, we're talking about a 1-0 to Mallorca in this early stage. Mojica putting an effort in, and this is where the game would change. Ander Barrenechea inexplicably sticking his arm out here to block the Samu Costa shot. And you'll see it a couple of times. This is a very similar penalty to the one that La Real were called for at the Santiago Bernabeu. That one was Sergio Gomez. This one, Barrenechea. I mean, that just cannot happen. The arm very clearly outstretched. It is not in a natural position. And when you do that, the VAR will not miss it. An easy penalty call. Up stepped Abdon Prats, getting the start on a Tuesday, and he promptly nets his second ever goal in La Liga EA Sports. Seems like he's been around forever, because he has. From the penalty spot, that is. Second ever goal from the penalty spot, because last year it was Vedat Murici who took the penalties. And he would usually start in front of Abdon, but no problems for Abdon Prats. So halftime required a couple of changes, just one to start things off. Take Kubo coming on for the somewhat ineffective Sergio Gomez. And they looked better in the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, La Real. They looked like they had a chance at making something happen in attack because they were fully ineffective in the first half. Barrenechea, though, missing another opportunity. And more set pieces continued to hurt La Real as well. Prats this time missing his chance. Set up nicely from Darder. Headed on by Raillo, and Prats just misses the target. Prats doing well here. We show that because of the brilliant first touch that Prats was able to take. He really worked hard throughout this game, and this one to draw the foul and provide a little hold-up play. Navarro against his parent club, playing with a little extra motivation. Set up Sergi Darder, and we thought we had the second goal, but this was ruled out by perhaps a full big toe. Kyle Larin was offside marginally, and it was confirmed pretty much right away. After Navarro's excellent run, Darder onto his right foot, and you see how close it was, and the semi-automated offside would confirm that. Calm finish by Larin, though. There you see just how close it was, a couple of centimeters at the most. So 1-0 it stayed, and La Real stayed in this game. Kubo trying to create from the right-hand side, but there was never a real threat at any point in this game that made you think they have to score this goal, Real Sociedad. They had one moment, and it came from a substitute. Uri Oskarsson comes on, their marquee signing of the summer. 20 million euros from Copenhagen. And he has not assimilated yet the way that La Real were hoping. So Oskarsson makes his way on. We'll see the chance in a little bit, but this was pretty much what the second half looked like. Half chance after half chance, and not a whole lot to show for it. Luka Sucic tried to grab one off the volley. Prats gets the ovation after scoring the goal. Vedat Murici comes in for the final half of an hour, 20 minutes. Provide some fresh legs, and we remember Raillo had 2 chances with his head in the first half, got another one in the second half. 3 headers from Raillo off corners, all delivered by Darder. They were getting just about anything they wanted from set pieces. The only thing was they couldn't put one home on this night, but they were mighty close. Substitute Sano dropped it back, and Darder would distribute again, this time looking for Murici. That might not have counted in the end anyway. It seemed like he too was offside when that went in. Didn't need to be looked at, though. Dani Rodriguez replaced Navarro, who put in an excellent shift and went out with cramps more than anything. Trying to find that second put-away goal. Mallorca seemed closer to getting that than Real Sociedad were to scoring. It was Darder on the curler, and it just didn't curl enough. Barrenechea's night was done, and the final substitute was Geraldo Becker, who tried to get involved right away, playing in the same spot that Barrenechea was playing, and all of the substitutions were essentially like for like. There were no tactical changes made by Imanol Alguacil, and that was part of the problem for La Real. Sucic A half-hearted effort here that wasn't so far away, but didn't have Leo Roman worried. Kubo again needing to find the right pass. Popped up near Oscarsson. He collided, actually, bashed heads with Costa. He needed to tend to both of them in that moment. Both would be all right. Come back on the pitch shortly thereafter. And La Real were looking for one moment, one potential chance just to steal something from this game, really, if anything. It just never came. Sucic set up Becker. A tame effort towards Roman. They did have one chance that you said, all right, this has to be a goal, or at least a shot on target. And it came from Uri Oscarsson with an excellent setup. Slipped through Oscarsson, and look, he's in clear. And then he drags the shot wide. How frustrating must that feel? The best chance by far, really, of the game for La Real. He had Take Kubo on the near side. Just didn't take either option well. And it was Mallorca's opportunity to then see out the game from there. No problems in the aftermath. They defended to the last moment, and now we're talking about Real Sociedad needing to find a goal. They've gone 3 games without one, and Mallorca get their first win at home thanks to that man, Abdon Prats, and Mallorca win it by a count of 1-0.